Let's go. All hands to the VTOL. Stay safe up there, guys.
That's you, kaput, pal. Should have done some cardio, mate. Boom-tastic.
Pod's open. Who's in the mood to spend some dosh?
Closing time for you, mate. Bit of target practice.
Pod's open, guys. Make sure to grab enough grenades.
Money well spent.
You learn to love me.
Quit that squawk. Closing time. And stay down. Respect me. Good riddance to bad noise. Little tactical demonstration. Keep making them, I'll keep breaking them. Can't see me now, scum.
You might need some ammo for the next wave.
Stay out, you rotten sods. Reckon I can help here. Hold steady, sealing this entry.
Pod closed.
Come on, come on.
Teamwork makes the dream work, especially against strength.
She sang her last song. Here, here's a little present for you. Consider that one dead.
Clean hit.
some gut. Aren't you lot glad you gave up the comforts of civvy life? Locking up.
No more supplies. Shop's closed.
Putting the wood in the old gov. Just getting warmed up. This place is a bloody charnel house.
Enemies are down.
Not ideal.
Maybe repair your armor?
On it! Look at that mess. Ah, nice and peaceful, ain't it? Oh well, money comes, money goes.
Move in and secure the marked location, Specialist.
Too slow, too ugly, too dead. creatures. Bloody fragile, that. Sorry to ruin your whole day.
exercise caution when approaching the VTOL team. Nightfall will not be responsible for death, disfigurement, or loss of extremities. Travel safe, team. Okay, let's all make good, safe decisions out there.
Zip line's up. Don't enjoy it too much, Scully. High-speed cable deployed. Oh, that felt good. That was done.
Okay, we're in the home stretch.
Not for jolly now, huh?
Cleared the way.
Bet the Zeds feel right at home in this filth.
Seconds, guys.
End of the line.
We're making good progress.
Whoop! Dropped something. That's just for existing. Extra protection here. Trust me, you lot need all the help you can bloody get. A fool and his money are soon parted. Really heard someone with that voice. Finally, some competent backup.
Guards up. We're Zed approaching.
right down on the wall.
Don't worry. I'll be watching you from the monitor.
I shut that thing up. Gutter rat. New mag. Auto guns ready. Bloody sight more reliable than you lot.
Enemy at half strength. Attention squad, pod is now open.
This'll fix the buggers. There's a story here, a real nasty one. swear something moved.
Pod's open. Get what you need while you can.
Fly like the bloody wind. Already feeling deadlier. Come on, you twonks. Let's try not to take a bloody beasting. Auto guns ready. Bloody sight more reliable than you lot. Turrets up. Good to have someone in this squad who can aim. Easier than hunting quail. Turret's hungry. Let's feed it some Zeds. Ah, the meat sack. Are you the religious thought? Zip lines up.
had the tornado warning go off about 30 minutes ago. Always got the tornado warnings. Man, I never really see tornadoes hit where I'm at that much. We get the warnings a lot, but normally they all go up north. Oh, they'll hit the highway. That's the thing, is once when tornadoes hit, they can go anywhere, so. It's just the conditions have to be like perfect. And since most tornadoes are like half a mile to a mile wide, they need a lot of fucking space to be able to be created. That's why we don't have a lot of tornadoes around, because there's like no space. Like I mean, half a mile wide is fucking huge. That's why they always come out in like big rural areas. And then I don't know if they go into cities, obviously they probably won't. That's the funny thing about tornadoes and that. People always say, oh, tornadoes come from the sky. Actually, they vortex downwards and upwards. They kind of meet. It's like lightning. Lightning actually meets the ground. So if you actually get struck by lightning, you're not getting struck from above, you're getting struck from below. Yeah, the ground, it meets you. It meets it. That's what's very interesting about that shit. I think that's why a lot of people intentionally have that kind of problem, not understanding like weather. You don't understand weather quite a bit. You should understand what the fuck's going on. Because if you know where to build a house, or where to put a house at, or where to buy at too. Like people buy, you know, like say if you buy beachfront property net, or say you buy like stuff that's like, you know, 10, 15 minutes away from the beach. The hurricane's gonna hit you. The hurricane's gonna fucking destroy your shit. So you want to buy more inland. You want to buy like, you know, 30, 40 minutes away from the beach. And then it won't, you know, destroy your shit as much. Or even an hour away. Or if you got, you know, if you got somewhat beachfront property in Florida, you're going to have money anyway. So more or less likely you're going to be able to rebuild or just sit there and just, you know, do whatever you got to do. Oh. Oh, there it goes. Oh, my damn joints keep fucking popping there, because it's going right now. A little bit. Oh, that's so annoying. Oh. Ooh. Feels pretty good to do the squats though. You gotta do it. burning. I guess I got something to talk about. It's about relationships. One of the key things that young men nowadays potentially don't show the type of course, these are not all men. Always, it's the ones that have these type of issues. Context matters. So basically, like, there's some men out there that have this kind of like, I play too much type of shit, and they end up and they end up having kids, and hence the reason why a lot of women have issues with some men, because they'll get pregnant, and it's like, oh yeah, okay, women intentionally kind of fall in love a little more than men do at first. Which is not a lie, they intentionally do. But men that don't, this is where I personally get a problem with. Men that don't potentially want to fall in love with a woman that they choose to, let's say, like, have sex with them that. I look at it from this perspective of like, I'm like, what's the whole point of being with someone if you don't want to be with that someone? Like, you perform, say, a sexual act, and then you sit there and then you're complaining about the decision that you made. I said, well, so focus on believing you're a real man, which these people aren't. They're just weak, inferior men. And it's just like, oh, it's just stupid. So you mean that, like, I look at myself as trying to build myself up. Now, I don't have kids, I'm not in a relationship, so it doesn't really target me too much, because I chose to want to get into a relationship that's with marriage. Second, in a relationship that's not with marriage. It's not to say I could have done it when I was younger, but I didn't. And like, everybody else in my family is married, and they stay with the people that they're with. My brother's been married since he was like in like his early 20s. He's been married for quite a while now, over 10 years, like close to like 15, 16 years. He took the traditional value. Now, who he married, I can't obviously say that she is the best type of person. He married basically a not like super traditional based woman, and I always thought about it. It's like, Pacific people marrying that because of what you call it, the luxury factor. Survival is easier when you have someone with you. Two people working makes it easier. It really does. Where we at? think it's gonna be too bad today. I just gotta get my windbreaker on. I think I'll be okay. It's one of those days. As people start going through this kind of life transition, they start to want to be relationships, and I said, key thing, if you want a relationship, if you want to be into a relationship, you're gonna have to do specific things to get a relationship started. And this is not gonna be anything ridiculously hard, but you're gonna have to do this. Man or woman, especially nowadays, securing a place of work, 100%. You're gonna have to secure a place of work. It doesn't matter. It never will matter. You're gonna have to get something that's gonna engage in making wealth, no matter what. You know, so get a job that you're comfortable with, and try to stay there try to get used to it, make it like a normal part of your life. Get used to it, potentially have it to where you're like working there for several years, or even a year or so, depending on your discipline and that, but have a secure, easy job. You know the management, you know the people, you guys are starting to formulate that kind of work relationship. You always want that. Learn from your job. Learn how to communicate better, learn how to adjust your financial stuff better, listen to older people, especially people that may have better financial strategies, better ways of living. Ask these questions. Go down these roads with people. Understand what's going on. Because the one thing that, myself, I've kind of went through this. I want to understand life. It's like, okay. Now I want to go through these processes of getting stuff. Absolutely. But the biggest thing for me was the discipline. I wasn't disciplined, which means I lacked experience. The experience wasn't there yet. Like, I knew how to work. I wasn't the best at communication. I was very shy, stuff like that. Looks like your train again. The wind died out or not. I think I'll wait another 15 or 20 minutes. Yeah, I got till about 6:40. I'll be a little late today. I'll let him give a fuck. And, go down these roads and start to really understand that if you rush into a relationship because you want to, be with someone, have some sort of sexual relationship with someone, financially, mentally, emotionally, understand that you have to find certain things you have to do. So if I stayed with my ex and that, which, it wasn't gonna happen anyway, because, most times women never break up with dudes, but she did. And the reason why is, I remember the message in that. And the base of the message was saying that she couldn't get me. She's like, I don't know why you think the way you think. I said, because I don't think the way the world wants me to think. I think the way that God intentionally wanted me to think. I'm not using the world to navigate my life, because the world is poor at navigation. There's no set way of doing things, really. They kind of just, it changes throughout, the generations. Like nowadays, this is the pothead generation. This pothead generation is just like everyone wants to be on weed. And then you start seeing the next generation of people. They're not smoking weed. They're getting stronger now. They're lifting more weights. They're starting to actually do things that actually are meant for people to do. And so you go down this road and that you start to understand these things. You're all like, oh, okay, well, these people are doing these things because it's naturally good for you. And they say, well, wait a minute, well, weed and taking Advil every day is naturally good because it comes from a natural plant. No, it's not naturally good. It's naturally bad. See, there's a fine line of difference. You can eat poisonous mushrooms and say that they're good for you, but they still kill you. And when you talk to people that have these kind of mindsets, say, well, everything kills you. I said, no. Anything with proper usage will never kill you. But people potentially use their emotions and they attach themselves to something and they believe in it more than they believe in God. Hence the reason why they do it so much. See, godly, righteous people potentially actually change because we're supposed to. We're supposed to migrate towards a better life, not to regulate our lives in a bubble where we're bouncing up and down. We never can escape our own head. We're supposed to get better throughout life. Now, being close to 40 years old, just turned 36. I remember back in the 90s and that everyone was outside more. We played video games, yes, but we loved to interact with other human beings. That's the thing. Nowadays, people don't want to interact as much. And of course, these are just specific people that we call loners. They're lonely people in that. And there's different types of loners. Like, I'm a loner right now because I don't have a lot of friends constantly hanging out with me. I don't want that. Because to me, my life's too secure as it is. And when I hang out with other people, they have to be similar to me. And there ain't a lot of people that are, super heavy believers in Jesus. They'll read the Bible and that. They'll do their prayers and that. They'll do stuff and that. But it's like, I truthfully feel closer to Christ more than most people that I talk to. And like, my parents were trying to get me to be, want to go to church, and I said, I don't want to go to church. I don't need to go to church. I get it. It'd be nice to meet people. But as soon as I meet a hypocritical person, and like if I see them like going out and partying that and getting drunk, if I see it, I'll be like, well, why you do the things that you're not supposed to do? Well, it's okay to, it's okay to create more sin. Then that's the problem. I said, one thing that Jesus talks about is relationships. And he always says, a relationship is with me first. Because I am all-knowing. I give you, basically the better will to live. I give you the wisdom to live better. Wealthiness and all that stuff comes in through the wisdom that you get. And the wisdom can come from many different things. The Holy Ghost guides you towards the wisdom that you end up learning. Through reading or through listening to people that are actually not retarded. And you start to get into the truth. Like, you always want to know the truth. You always ask why. Always ask why. Don't sit there and never ask why. Always ask why. Why is a very, very, very important question. Why this? Why that? Why this? If people stifle your asking questions, throw them away. Don't talk to them. And ask them why again. Why do you do that? Obviously, some people blah, 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 blah. It's like, no. True friends ask why. True friends tell you the truth. There's so many people that say, well, I follow my friend, whatever he does, I agree with him. I said, well, if your friend's a fucking idiot. I dealt with this before with a younger group of, I guess they're Muslims, but they're kind of like European Muslims. I don't know. And I was working at my other job and I was working at Zipsnet. And there was a fallout in between a guy that was completely simping over a chick, and his friends kept on trying to get him out of it, and then finally they broke ties with him. And I had a conversation with these two, with one of his best friends about it. And there was an instance before that, and he was sitting there getting mad at me. Instead of his friend sitting there and trying to say, hey bro, it's like, it's like, so what's really going on? I want to hear this person's side of the story and that. There's people that are saying stuff, and I want to understand. And they've been friends for a while and that. But I say from an older man's perspective, listen to wise counsel first, because younger people intentionally don't know shit. So when an older man that evidently is, you know, more wiser than you, they're saying something that's not to sit there, I want to get in a fight with you. No, there's no point in fighting, because fighting never ends with anything well. You're never going to learn anything. You might learn some discipline, but sometimes that shakes you up too much. And though, like, this guy wasn't a big dude. He's like 5'3", and or like 5'4", something like that. He wasn't too big of a dude. And, you know, he was, you know, like 19 or 20. And his friend was a little bit older, but he wasn't that big of a dude. You know, he looked athletic and that, but, you know, the sense of it was that, you know, it came down to, like, I knew the other kid's brother and that. And me and him have a conversation about him now. He's like, yeah, my brother's always been a hothead. And I was like, well, he needs to stop, bro, because it doesn't matter how strong he thinks he is. There's always going to be someone bigger. And, you know, and his brother wasn't that big. He weighed like 100, maybe 140, maybe 150 pounds. I'm like, dude, I'm like over 200 pounds now. And I trained a lot when I was younger and that. And I'm just older, so having all that wisdom and that makes me, you know, a person that knows how to fight. You know, I know how to deal with situations because, you know, because of the age and the stuff that I did when I was younger. And so the instance was, he was getting mad at me because of the whispers of a woman. And that's where it came down to it. The stuff I don't hear, so to speak, in this situation was never came out until later on when everything started to fall out altogether. And I was 100% right about it. Because it wasn't anything, it wasn't competition. You know, this lady, this young lady, which I thought we were close, I was close to, ended up not being as close as I thought. She was untrustworthy. Her true self was obviously there, but she never implicated her true self. She was lying about herself, and she lied about things that possibly happened, and she was lying to other people about it because she just wanted attention. And that's what it came down to. And as of today, this, you know, this person probably still does talk about me and that. Oh yeah, because you fucked up. But the whole point of it is that this guy, a couple group of men were sitting there like, it's like, dude, this woman is a siren. She's calling out to you, and she doesn't actually fucking like you. She doesn't care for you at all. And I say, yeah, she doesn't. And that's what started this whole thing, and that because she was hanging out with me still while she was with him. And I said, well, you can't do that. It's like, we're just friends. Like, no, you have a man. You stay with your fucking boyfriend. Don't crawl over to me and say, oh, give me attention, because the attention that you're seeking, I'm not going to give to you. It's a grown-up thing. You grow up from there. It's nothing against any of these, you know, young adults, but their lives themselves have to understand that you're going to have to go through some type of massive discipline, especially when you deal with older people. They're going to pinpoint down and say, dude, you're being fucking stupid. So in this situation that, you know, this kid wanted to fight me. And I'm just sitting there like, dude, it's like, I'm not going to fight you. And then they say the nastiest shit when they're fucking mad because they're twat waffles. And I say, you're being a bitch, bro. It's like, I'm not going to fight you over something stupid. It's like, just leave. And his other friend was trying to, and he was trying to, like, get all, you know, and then finally, because the woman is the one that kind of, like, started the stuff, she starts to get emotionally impaired. And then she starts speaking the truth. She's like, oh, let's stop. And then I'm just like, okay, well, you guys can just leave. Bye. Like the start up. So, and then a fallout happened between him and his friends. And I talked to his friends about it, and I spoke the truth. I spoke the same thing I was in. You know, I said, you know why I called him a bitch for a reason. I said it specifically, and now you understand why I said it. And he's like, yeah, and he apologized. He said, sorry about getting mad. And I was like, well, it's because you guys are not listening. You guys just want to fight everyone. And I said, no offense, you couldn't take me in a million years, bro. He kind of like, he gotta give me a look. I'm gonna be upfront with you. You fight around with kids your size. You fight around with kids with your skill. You're not gonna fight a full-grown man that has more skill and more strength than you. That's just how it is. And I'm just like, it's nothing against you. You're just young. You're trying to go through the understanding that's pick your fights wisely. Because some people may not give you. If you get full-on rage and someone defends themselves, I'll smash your face in. It's just that simple. Literally. You know, like, there's no point of even trying, because I know who I am. I know how strong I am. I know many people, actual good fighters, that compliment how I am. So I know where I'm staying at no matter what. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. You know, I had Wing Chun, you know, like people that know Wing Chun and know boxing, know stuff really good and that, and they see me work on a box bag, they see me do technique stuff, and they are always like, it's like, you got really good technique. You look like you're really strong at punching and kicking and that. I said, well, I've been training for decades, you know, off and on and that, but like it just comes more natural to me. And so I had got free lessons on like Wing Chun. I started doing the Wing Chun things on the board now. I got so good that I could do it in my fucking sleep. You know, I used to be like, blah, 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 blah. I would do it so fast and that people would sit there and be like, oh. And so that's just the proof of it. And when I think about what I could do, and I look at a young man that might know how to box a little bit, he might be able to throw punches, and I say, you're gonna have to throw probably like 200-300 fucking punches, bro, in a full-on battle with me. It's not gonna be something that's gonna be light. It's not gonna be something that's gonna be like ruled out by referees. This is full-on, don't give a fuck, throw a rock in your face type shit. And just to, you know, people always want to talk about, you know, oh, I'm strong, I do this. I don't give a fuck about what you do. You still don't do it though. And so I got a little more time. Just wait for the rain to die down. And so I go through this inside my head, and that every time someone tries to get into that threatening, you know, notion with me, I look at my training. So anyway, like, after the fallout, I talked to his friends about it, and he agreed with me. He's like, I was trying to save your friend from being a simp. He was simping hard. He doesn't understand that he can't be emotional because women are supposed to be the guiders of emotions. Men are not supposed to be emotional. We're not supposed to show a lot of emotions. Because emotions don't matter to us as much. Because we don't have time to complain about things. And that shows in active situations that you have to be able to perform. When women get into a situation, they get loud. They get very talkative. Not to say men can't talk it out. We do. But when it comes down to active situations where talking is done, men have to act physically. So we have to get on top of our shit. We have to train ourselves like warriors. You have to be clear-minded. You have to be logical. You have to learn how to, quickly learn on your, think on your feet. If something happens, you have to move fast. And you can't sit there. Now, this is if something happens that's massively, heavy. Like when people come in and try to get threatening, instantly I think about all the things I can do to just basically rip the person apart. Don't care. If they react to a certain thing, I'm instantly thinking about it. It's like strike, it's like move like thunder and strike like lightning or whatever. Strike, whatever it is, move quick. Demolish your enemies as fast as possible. Just get rid of the threat. Submission them. If you have to do massive harm to them, you create massive harm. The person never backs down. It gets to the point where you're gonna have to, say, end the person or get close to ending him so he submits. Then you're gonna have to do it. It's just how it is. People always want to say, well, we can't do that stuff nowadays. And I say, no, self-defense is inedible. See, when stupid people do stupid things, smart, wise, strong people have to deal with the stupid fucks. And normally they're just words, because most times stupid people are skittish. They're scared because they know they can't handle it. But sometimes you get a dumb fuck that's strong enough to be able to go through these things, and they'll throw around. And as a man, you're gonna have to throw around too. But I got another 4 or 5 minutes. We'll wait a little bit longer. Yeah, I just got my battery in my thing charge up. KillingFloor is great. KillingFloor 3 is getting a lot better. I hope my friend does get on that. We can just jam for like 4 or 5 hours. I think it's gonna happen on Tuesday and Wednesday. We're both off. We're gonna jam that shit. But anyway, so basically what I'm trying to say is like, let's maintain these values. Respect people, even if they don't respect you. Respect them. Because you don't have to be friends with them. You don't have to socialize with them like you fucking know them. These are one of the things that people potentially like to do a lot. They like to say, well, if you disrespect me, I'm just going to hate you. No, don't create any type of hate with yourself. Because then that just means that you're just creating a negative void with you. You know, you get this shit a lot. I listen to these people and they talk and I say, why do you keep thinking you can control everything? If I ever say that to people that I like, certain people I work with, I said, what? Why do you think that control is something that you have power to do? And it's like, it's just a simple question. And they can't answer it, but they want to say, it's like, well, because I think that I'm right. It's like, okay, if you think that you're right, then why don't you do the things that you're thinking of? You said people need to respect me, but you don't respect, and you need to respect people. I said, it's all for yourself. It's not for others. People don't care about other people's emotions, especially when they're negative. People consciously don't give a fuck about negativity because they have too much shit going on in their life to a certain extent. Mostly no one does. They just make up shit on top of their head. There's stuff going on in their life, and they're trying to get things done. Yeah. So you have to go through these psychological things in your head to try to perform. How bad it's outside. It's windy and rain for a little bit. It's gonna make sure my feet don't get fucking wet. Because these damn shoes. And they're thick as fuck, but the thing is, they got they're side holes. But anyway, like, these are the kind of things that, you know, we have to really listen to. We can always have fun. You can put fun on hold for a little bit and learn some actual knowledge, learn some actual responsibilities and that. Whatever life that you want to have, it's your choice. Yes. But you have to still be responsible. You have to find that, like, thing in your life that you always want to do. Make it a hobby out of it. Make multiple hobbies. Go through it and try to perform in those ways. It's a beautiful thing. I think a lot of people lose track of that type of thing. Like, keep good hobbies up. Structure yourself to be strong. Don't be weak, because weakness is never a good thing. It never matters what people think. People are going to think whatever they think. Worry about what you feel. Worry about your emotions. Worry about your positivity. One of the biggest things I have to say that I do nowadays, I don't care about negativity. As soon as I get any type of negative stuff on me and that, or I hear about negative stuff, I literally just don't care about it. I push it away. I have to, because it's just ridiculous. Anyway, I gotta get going, Matt. I gotta take a big ass piss and go to work. Anyway, God bless. Keep Jesus in your heart.